Hey guys, this is Lady Alexandra. Welcome to my channel and I hope you're doing well. In this video I'm talking about some of the gods and goddesses of ancient Egyptian mythology. Amun, man with the head of a ram, king of the gods, god of the wind. Anput, goddess of the 17th nome of Upper Egypt. She is the goddess of the desert and protection, mother of Khepri. Anubis, the guardian of the gates to the underworld. Osiris replaced him as the god of the dead. He is the one who looks like a man with the head of a jackal, god of dead embalming, funerals, and mourning ceremonies. Son of Seth and Memphis, helper of Osiris. Anuket, goddess of the river Nile. Apophis, also known as Apep, god of snakes and war. He lives in the Duat, god of chaos and sometimes seen as Apophis, the chaos snake. Apophis was a 50-foot long snake. He was black, orange, and a little bit green. He symbolized darkness, storms, night, underworld, and death. Bastet, cat goddess, known to protect pregnant women and children. She is also involved in celebrations. The protector of Ra, his third eye. Bes, the god of protection of pregnant women, newborn babies, and the family, also known to protect from snake and scorpion bites. He was a dwarf wearing a lion's skin. Bes does not look like he is Egyptian, but more like gods found in other parts of Africa. To scare away demons during birth, Bes would dance around the room, shaking his rattle and yelling to scare away demons that might put a curse on the child. After the child was born, Bes would stay by him or her. When a baby laughed or smiled for no reason, Egyptians believed that Bes was somewhere in the room, making funny faces. Geb, god of the earth, husband to sky goddess Nut and father of Set, Osiris, Memphis, and Isis. The ancient Egyptians believed that earthquakes were Geb's laughter. Hapi, god of the Nile. He is often shown in art as a man with a large belly, wearing a loincloth, having long hair, and having large, female-like chest. Hathor, goddess of love, beauty, dancing, music, and fertility. Hathor had a lot of power over ancient Egyptian moods. Hathor had the power to bring laughter, happiness, and joy. If she was far away, the Egyptian mood would become miserable. Hathor very much enjoyed helping and changing others' moods, embracing them and loving them dearly. Horus, god of the sky. He was a protector god and a god who fought evil. He was the son of Isis and Osiris. After fighting his uncle Seth, he became the king of Egypt. During this fight, he lost his eye. The Eye of Horus became one of the most important symbols in ancient Egypt. The Eye of Horus is a powerful amulet and is a sign of protection. Horus was considered handsome and usually appeared as a falcon or a falcon-headed man, although sometimes he appeared as a falcon-headed crocodile. Sometimes he would take the form of a celestial falcon with his left eye the moon and his right eye the sun, his speckled breast feathers the stars, the down sweep of his wings creating the winds. He is sometimes shown with a copper knife. He normally wore the double crown to signify his rule over all of Egypt and to relate with the Pharaoh. Isis, goddess of magic, marriage, healing, and protection. She is the wife and sister of Osiris and the mother of Horus. Isis also protected children and was one of the greatest goddesses. She is also considered as the greatest magician and goddess of magic. Isis had great healing powers along with her being a magician and a protector. Khepri, goddess of purification, also known as the wandering goddess or the lost child. Khepri was often depicted as a snake, sometimes with the body of stars. She was also depicted as a woman with the head of a snake. Sometimes she takes the form of an ostrich, linking her to the goddess of Ma'at, who represented justice and balance in the universe, and was involved in the judgment of the dead. Khepri, god of scarab beetles. Khonsu, god of the moon, moonlight, and time. In the beginning of the gods, he gambled time with the sky goddess Newt. The goddess Newt won so many times that she could then add 5 days to the calendar. These days were called the demon days. Khonsu's father is Sobek, and his mother is Hathor. Kek, personification of darkness. Kuk was viewed as having male and female qualities. Kuk's male form was seen as a frog or as a frog-headed man. The female form was seen as a snake or a snake-headed woman. He also symbolized the unknown and chaos. Ma'at, goddess of justice, truth, and of order. The purpose of Ma'at was to keep order, truth, and justice. Ma'at weighed the heart of the deceased against her feather of truth on a scale during the journey to the afterlife. She placed the dead man's heart on the other side, while her husband, Thoth, wrote down the results of the scale to see if that person was evil or good, and if they would have a happy afterlife. Without Ma'at, the universe would become chaos once again. Ma'at had dark skin and hair. She was usually shown wearing a white linen dress. She, like Isis, was a winged goddess, and she wore lots of armbands and necklaces made from gold and jewels. Her feather of truth was strapped to her head. Like the other gods and goddesses, she wore the black eye makeup around her eyes and on her eyebrows, known as kohl, which showed her high-ranking status. Nephthys, a goddess of death, decay, and darkness, but also a magician with great healing powers, consort of Seth, and mother of Anubis. She could be dangerous, able to kill the enemies of the king with her fiery breath. She was considered a protector of the king. Newt, goddess of sky and stars, wife of Jeb. Newt was a very beautiful and kind goddess. She was loving and caring. She fell in love with Thoth, the god of knowledge, and Geb, the god of the earth. She was also the mother of heavenly bodies, whose laughter was thunder and tears were rain. She often carried the sun across the sky. Osiris, god of life, death, the flooding of the Nile, and the afterlife. He protected the Egyptians from the underworld. He was the husband of Isis and the father of Horus. Osiris was killed by his brother Seth because Osiris was Pharaoh, which Seth wanted to be. However, Isis brought Osiris back to life for one night. After Horus was old enough, he defeated Seth and became the Pharaoh. Ra, god of the sun. Ra was king of the gods until Osiris inherited his throne. He was also known as Amun-Ra and Akhmun-Ra. Sekhmet, goddess of lions, fire, and vengeance. Serket, goddess of scorpions. Seshat, goddess of writing and measurement. Seth, god of chaos, change, deserts, storms, and foreigners, mortal enemy and brother to Osiris, husband to Nephthys. He killed his brother Osiris because of jealousy. No one can really describe what he is. He is a half-human hybrid, half-human mixed with an unknown creature. Shu, god of wind and air. Sobek, god of crocodiles and alligators. Thoth, scribe god, god of wisdom. Wadjet, goddess of protection. These were some of the main gods and goddesses worshipped in ancient Egypt. I'm going to be covering more on sacred texts and occult in future videos. So please like and subscribe, and I hope you enjoyed. Until next time.